And one thing I noticed is that you use the word crap more than I've more than I've heard from other clergymen.
Is that a bad word? I don't know,
No. It's not a bad word to me. But I was just wondering, like, does anyone like do the old aunts and uncles like, man, like, uh, Arshu, what's up? Or is that cool?
No one said anything.
Okay, okay.
Like, look,
I'm not
that's
saying
how.
it's a bad word, by the way.
No,
I
no, no.
just
I
don't.
know, I
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
But that's how I talk. In my class at USC, that's how I talk to my kids. That's how I talk to my friends. That's how I talk to my. I mean, I talk the same way,
yeah,
regardless of the audience, um, pretty much. So
I'm
anyway,
actually, I'm just curious to get your opinions on this because I was having a conversation kind of about a similar subject with a friend. Um, so we're kind of in agreement. Like, crap's not a bad word, but like, why is crap a bad word? But why wouldn't you use like, its cousin that starts with sh?
to go further, I don't know. This whole concept of bad words.
Right.
Like God's judging the heart. So it's
Yeah.
like, I think a bad word is a hurtful word. Like, um, and it doesn't have to be, some derogatory, it doesn't have to be the N word or something like that. It could just be, something hurtful, right? The things you say to each other, the things people post about each other, like,
Mm-hmm.
and they're not bad words, but
Yeah, yeah,
they're extremely hurtful and they're extremely malicious and they're extremely polite. When one girl walks in, other girls like in front of everyone goes, "Oh, is that what you chose to wear?" You know, is there
yeah.
a
That's
bad
worse
word?
than a curse word. Yeah.
You've just humiliated her and made all everyone laugh
Mm-hmm.
at her. You know, I don't care if that's not on the bad word list, right? That's a horrible
Right.
thing to say, right? And I think if in my opinion, that's what God's evaluating. It's not, to just use sh word and and then take out the I, so that nobody, so it's not the, or use the F word and take out, a
Yeah.
letter or two so that say fudge instead. Like what are we doing, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like like that's silliness, right? If we think
So
that,
so yeah,
God,
just to explore this a little more because I think a lot of I think this is a fascinating topic. Sorry.
here we go.
So because like sometimes you're dropping f bombs, whatever, but you're not hurting anyone per se. You're watching a sports game,
Yeah.
and but is that unbecoming of a Christian even like to do that? Is it like because we have in James where he says if is it James who says if you can't control your tongue, whatever. Is
Yeah,
that James?
but James is talking about controlling the tongue as a fire, right?
Well,
And
that's what I'm just trying to. So is that what he's saying or no? About
definitely he's not talking about,
yeah,
you stub your toe and something comes out, or or your
yeah,
favorite
yeah,
team drops, fumbles on the goal line, right? That's not. He's talking about humans,
uh-huh.
right? Like let's look at the great command: love the Lord your God with all your heart and your mind, and love your neighbors yourself, right? This is the focus, and once we start looking at formalities and proper etiquette and behavior,
Mm-hmm.
those things come from the heart, right? You know, the way I dress to church, okay? When I was a layperson, I never wore jeans to church, right? And it's not because it's haram or bad, or it's because that's how I felt I should be at church. I wouldn't wear jeans to an interview. I wouldn't wear jeans to work, you know. And so it wasn't that, but I don't think wearing jeans is bad, or I would ever speak to anyone who wore jeans. That's not what it's about. Or not wearing jeans makes me good.
Mm-hmm.
It was from the heart, right? It's how I felt. It's like if someone came to my wedding in shorts, I'd be insulted, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, what, man? It's about the heart, man. So what if I'm wearing shorts? It's like, well, you came to my wedding and you wore you didn't wear your best for me, right? And it's not that you can't wear shorts or you're not allowed to wear shorts, because I've seen you in shorts 1,000 times, right? You're my
Yeah.
friend,
Hmm.
but you go to my wedding that way, right? And so, what is that saying about me and how you feel about me? You
Yeah.
know, um, and so it's about the heart. It isn't about, you know, and unfortunately we take it too far, right? Like, and there's a lot of culture here, like, I mean, we all know, like, a girl has to have the sleeve here, right? If she has a sleeve here, that's bad, but the sleeve here, that's okay. And
Hmm.
you're like, I mean, that's not from God, right? I
Right.
mean,
Yeah. Is this kind of what St. Paul meant when he said all things are lawful, but not all things are edifying?
yeah, I mean, and I think we get a little bit too caught up in the law stuff.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. Yeah. I personally don't think like syllables and letters put together to make a pronunciation are in and of itself bad. It's all, I mean, that just to me, it's about intent. And, um, but also, I think for the Christian, the self control aspect is important. So you don't want to just be careless and all words mean nothing.
mhm.
Um,
There's certainly an unbecoming language. I mean, if I was just talking and I was dropping f bombs and s bombs, and
yeah.
in every culture, language depicts the intent and the character and the feeling of the person.
Hmm.
And so, if you say something I don't like, I say, hey, f you.
Hmm.
You know, that's that's a bit much, right? Unless you're a really good friend, and but that's the thing, right? I mean, if you're a really good friend, then that doesn't mean the same thing, right? And every culture is different.
Hmm.
In Arabic, there are words you don't say, but you can say to each other as friends.
Yeah.
But I don't say to my professor or to my priest, but because there's just, but so the word itself, of course, isn't anything, right? It's just a
Yeah.
word, and it's about the intent and the context in which it's presented.